For more on Novo and pharmaceuticals, bring in Guggenheim's biotech analyst, Seamus Fernandez. Seamus, your take on the Novo results?
So I guess it's not too surprising to the overall market what happened here. This was a high-risk reward clinical study for Novo Nordisk. It was well communicated by the company that way. But that being said, the company has had a lot of challenges this year, largely from competition from Eli Lilly, but it also faces pretty challenging year in 2026 and potentially 2027 and beyond in that context. So, tough year for Novo, from the beginning of this year, whether it be from a pipeline perspective, the board-related shakeups, or now this failed incremental clinical study. That being said, this is a drug for they have drugs for the treatment of obesity, not necessarily for the treatment of Alzheimer's disease. This was actually trying to extend GLP-1s into that market, which, certainly was a challenging opportunity, but something that the company viewed as, worth studying. We didn't think this trial was going to be successful, never published as such, and aren't too surprised by the outcome.
Yeah, in fact, let's stay on the GLP-1, the weight loss drug category, the semaglutides, because you mentioned Eli Lilly. I mean, that stock has been red hot. It's on track for its best month in 25 years. It now has $1 trillion valuation. Compare the drugs, right? Novo Nordisk has Wegovy, the semaglutide, the GLP-1 drug. Lilly's got their own. Is there a clear winner? Is Wegovy, does it have a future, or is it now just Lilly's market to lose?
I think there's no question about it. Wegovy has a future. Novo Nordisk is planning to launch a pill next year, again, using this peptide technology. But we really do think that Lilly is in a better position than Novo because they have Mounjaro, Zepbound as kind of the two leading franchise products in the overall, story opportunity. When we look forward to the launches of some of their pipeline assets that continue to build into expectations at this point, Eli Lilly is positioned with the next to market pill, a drug called orforglipron, which has, we think, massive potential opportunity in this market because it's very easy to take. It's easier to take than the Wegovy pill potentially. And, it could be a $30 to $50 billion product in terms of peak sales.
Wegovy versus Mounjaro, is one better? I mean, do consumers view them as kind of the same product that they don't really care? Or is there a fundamental difference between the two, like an Advil, Tylenol? They both might kind of do the same thing, but they are fundamentally different. And people, let's be clear, people have their preference about a lot of medication.
Yeah, there are some, slight differences. When you actually talk to physicians and thought leaders in the space, they'll tell you across the board their patients seem to do better on Mounjaro. It only takes about two steps, so a 5 milligram dose of Mounjaro rather than going all the way up to the highest dose of Mounjaro actually performs just as well as Wegovy. So
do we think Lilly's stock is going to split?
That's a separate question for, I think, Dave Ricks, who you've had on the call quite a number of times. But I do think that, the performance of the stock, seeing a drug company at $1 trillion market cap is a real breakthrough for healthcare investors for sure.